Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Respond to you, but I'm done for the week. I'm done.
Steve is my favorite part of the show. How's that?
Yes. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Check for sound.
Pleasure to be on there talking with Paulie, man. He's a good dude.
I'm an idiot.
I'll just shut up and let you talk. I was trying to help.
And shout out to Tupac.
3, 2, 1, and
This is Orange Nation.
Well, hello, Paulie and Steve.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fonte. It's a Wednesday edition of Orange Nation Signing Day. The early signing period opening up today. We will join Fran Brown's press conference live coming up at 12:30. We've got Adrian Autry at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, a little change because we've got our Christmas party tomorrow, our holiday party. PC.
So no show tomorrow for us. So we've got Adrian Autry today at 1 o'clock, Matt Park, voice of the Orange, at 1:30 to talk all things SU sports, football, basketball today. We got to start with the basketball team earning a high-profile win, quality win, really their last chance at a quality win in the non-conference schedule, and they get it done just barely, but it felt like the basketball gods probably owed this team and owed this coaching staff at least one, and
they got it.
They got it down the stretch, and it really does change the entire complexion of the season at the moment anyway.
Absolutely, it does, and the defense was spectacular last night. They held a team that's averaging 85-point-something points. I don't know if I need to round up or not.
85.9. Okay, so in this case, you would. 86.
86.
Yes.
They're averaging 86 points a game, and they held them to 60.
It's pretty good.
And they got 62, and that's all you needed. Right?
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great win. And enjoy it. It was something, though, that you need, everybody. Don't come in here with now, a level 5 win last night when you were just poo-pooing it, The other day, people were like, shut up with the level 5, the juice station. I don't know that this team's going to win a lot of games this year yet or not. That was a huge win. It saved the season. But if you're going to play level 5, Steve, it's got to become muscle memory like it was for Virginia at points, when they were playing the pack line. You got to go out against St. Joe's on Thursday of next week. And that intensity's got to be the exact same against them as it was against, Houston and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then against Hofstra, it's got to be the same. So it doesn't drop off ever.
Yeah, no, I agree with you in that, and I think that this team has done a nice job on the defensive end of the court for the most part. Obviously, not the second half against Iowa State. I mean, that to me that seems like the outlier. That was the exception to the rule. Defensively, this team has been very good throughout the season to date, and especially against Houston and Tennessee. And they were in position to win both those games. They went 1-1, but you'll take it. And we said all along they had to get at least one of these 4. They did. They did it without Donnie. And now your non-conference resume is in such a way that, assuming you go out and take care of business against some of these lesser teams you got coming up, you finish the non-conference with only 3 losses, and those 3 losses are all the teams in the top 20 right now in Ken Pom. I think Houston's 17, Kansas is 19, and Iowa State's like 7 right now. And then you go into the start of the ACC schedule, and there are a lot of winnable games. This is a very manageable schedule to start. Clemson, Georgia Tech, Pitt, Florida State, BC, Virginia Tech, Miami. The first part of this ACC schedule, I mean, again,
Miami's decent.
And they showed that last night. And, and Miami picked up a big win in the ACC, SEC Challenge. Virginia Tech did the same thing. We'll get to that in a moment. The fact that the ACC is performing well so far in the ACC, SEC Challenge, which is good for Syracuse. But not to get ahead of ourselves, Syracuse could potentially, win 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 11. They can go on a little bit of a run here, and they can put themselves in position if they handle this stretch the right way, where they go into the month of February feeling pretty good about their metrics and their analytics and where they are. Whereas if you lose that game last night, as we've been talking about, now it's a major uphill battle just to put yourself in, bubble talk come the middle of March.
Nothing's easy either, right? Like, it's not easy to win a basketball game, but man, even if you're even the slightest bit of a Syracuse fan last night, you thought something was going to happen, right? You thought the shots were going to fall for Tennessee, and they didn't last night. And it's the first time under Red that I feel like the luck's actually good. You need that to win games, and it went their way, Yeah. You know what else happened last night? Syracuse turned the ball over a lot, and this has crushed Syracuse the past 2 years. When they turned the ball over, they weren't live ball turnovers, though. It didn't lead to runouts the other way. It was out of bounds balls and stuff. And it's just crazy how we heard Red say that. It's hard for a fan to hear. You're still turning the ball over, but it stopped Tennessee from being able to get out and run.
And I think part of what helped as well is that Tennessee turned it over just as much. And there were situations where Syracuse had a live ball turnover, and then Tennessee would turn it right back over on the same possession. Syracuse turned it over 16 times. That's too much. Tennessee had 17 turnovers. Yeah. Syracuse missed 9 free throws. That's too much. But you know what? Tennessee went 8 for 15 from the free throw line. So, the areas which Syracuse struggled in last night, so did Tennessee. Syracuse didn't shoot the ball great from three-point range, obviously. 5 for 19. Tennessee was 4 for 13. So it was the teams kind of mirrored each other last night, and to your point about they caught a break, it was essentially the Houston game all over again. It really was. I mean, I know that Syracuse came back late against Houston to tie it up, and in this case, Tennessee came back late to tie it up. But the way that both teams got after it defensively, it came down to essentially one possession where Syracuse had the ball, tie game. We know how they handled it against Houston. They went with Nate George. He waited a little bit too long to go, pass it to William Kyle. He gets blocked. Last night, the ball's in JJ's hands. He makes a play, gets it to William Kyle, who then steps to the line and makes 1 and 2, and we saw how it played out from there. But there is such a fine line between winning and losing. Both of those games could have gone either way. Syracuse got one of them and obviously lost one.
It's funny, and I'm going to ask Red this because it almost felt like they didn't want to get the ball to William Kyle there. Like, JJ was like, oh, no, like, what did I do? But it was the right pass. It was right. Yeah, I think the instincts kicked in.
Sure,
and
of course
he got the right pass.
Yeah.
But did you see his reaction after he made the pass to him? He was just like, oh, no, what I do.
Right.
But, yeah, we'll see if that was the play that they called up. But, yeah, he rolled to the basket. He got the open pass. He knocked down the one free throw that he needed, and they got the win. But you've got to get more.
I do. Yes, you absolutely have to get more.
I've been saying this all year. You can't ride the basketball season like a roller coaster. Like one win's enough or one loss is the end. The one loss last night might have been the end, which makes it even more impressive that they went out and fought like that. But they've got to do a lot more.
Yeah, of course they do. And, we talked about the urgency yesterday, and I thought we were going to see it on the defensive end, and we did. And neither team did, shoot the ball well, obviously, from three-point range. I mean, Syracuse still finished 43% from the field. Tennessee was 41%, but neither one of them shot it well from three. Neither one of them shot it well from the free throw line. Both of them turned it over too much, but that's a byproduct of two really good defensive teams going at it. High-level game, and Syracuse is able to pull it out. You talked about, we'll find out from Red if that was the play at the end. I do wonder in those late game situations, if you're going to throw the ball to William Kyle, it almost has to be a lob, right? It almost has to be.
It was kind of.
Right.
He was cutting to the basket. It just was at a bad spot. Yeah.
It almost has to be an alley-oop, to try and get an and one.
Man, he's a freak.
As opposed to, send him to the line for two. He is a freak.
I mean that in a great way.
Absolutely. He is a difference maker. I was just talking to my dad as I was driving over here about the game. He was at the game last night. We were talking about just his ability on defense to block shots and not commit fouls and just to go straight. You don't see big guys do it very often where they're swatting at it. He just goes straight up and he blocks. He's got a knack for finding the ball, and he plays. They promise us, Red promises, says he plays bigger than he is. Like, don't worry that he's 6'9". He plays bigger than he is. And I think we're seeing that through the first part of this season.
I want to address one more thing before we get to calls. Steve, I don't know if you know this, I hosted post-game for the Kansas game. And I got beat up by callers and chatters that I said JJ letting the game come to him was a good thing and he needs to be on the court because he didn't do anything in the first half of the Kansas game. Can you guys stop now?
Yeah.
Can you stop? JJ needs the ball in his hand at the end of games. He needs to let the game come to him. Didn't shoot the ball much in the first half because Nate Kings completely took over the first half and kept them in the game. Down the stretch, JJ had the ball in his hand and won them the game.
It does create a dilemma if you're up by a possession or two in the last 2 minutes, if you do want the ball in his hands. But I think last night was the perfect situation where it's a tie game. You figure Tennessee's not going to foul. There's a difference between the shot clock and game clock, whatever it was, 8-10 seconds, whatever it was. And you figure they're not going to foul. So you can safely put the ball in JJ's hands and have him go make a play. But he's got to get better at the line. We keep saying that because you don't want it to be a detriment in the end of game situation.
Griffith says he needs to be more aggressive and don't sit back. No, Nate Kings was dominating the first half. Everybody get out of his way.
Kings was great.
I don't get why that's. Do you want JJ missing shots where Nate Kings was making them last night? I don't know.
I tell you what, JJ stepped up again and made some big shots at the end of that game.
Great down the stretch.
Yeah. Hit a mid-range. He hit really two big shots in particular down the stretch of that game. Hit a three and hit a mid-range that, and then obviously had the pass to William Kyle to help win the game. Let's go to the full lines. Drew in Syracuse kicking us off today. Hey, Drew.
Hey, guys, what's going on? Again, I'm going to say, Paulie, you talk out of the side of your mouth.
All right, go ahead, go, because Steve pissed me off today, and if you're gonna, go ahead, tell me what I did, because go.
You do.
Go.
What did I do?
What did I do?
Yesterday, you sat there and said, "Oh, I don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to lose by 5." They won, Paulie. They won.
Yes.
So
I don't think you paid attention to the show because I jokingly said they were going to win. I jokingly said they were going to lose, and I also said they were going to cover and lose. 3 different takes yesterday as a joke.
That would have been hard to cover and lose.
So you get to, again, talk out the side of your mouth.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what you do.
Go ahead. What do you want to say about the game?
So the game was perfect. The game was, listen.
It was perfect.
It's not the best we can play. It's not the worst we can play. But, again, this is a team that give them a chance. Just give them a chance.
I have been giving them a chance.
No, but Paulie, you haven't. You've talked out the side of your mouth all the time about them.
What I said yesterday was they need to start winning games, and they did.
Yeah.
There's a point where the fan base is right. And that's all I'm saying. They hadn't won quad one games in 3 years. That was their 4th one. There's a point where the fan base is right. It says, you got to win one of these games, and they did. Congratulations to Coach Autry. They got it. That win saved their season.
It did. It feels like it did. And I just want to follow up on one thing Drew said. He said, something along the lines of they can be better than that. They can be better than that. And I think that that's the part that gives Syracuse fans hope and Orange Nation hope going into 2026 is that they just beat the 13th ranked team in the country, and there is room for improvement for a lot of guys. Nathan George didn't play great. We haven't seen, Donnie Freeman out there healthy yet, and we'll talk about Donnie as the show moves along. That, Red said he's day to day, and they expect him back soon. They don't have a timetable, but soon. Nathan Kings hasn't been hot from 3-point range. Sadiq White keeps getting better and better. I don't think we've seen the best of Cayenne yet. He keeps getting, better and better. That's the hope as he gets more playing time. There's a lot of room for this team to grow, and they just beat the 13th ranked team in the country. Yeah. So I do think that is encouraging.
The offense wasn't great, but Cayenne didn't force shots last night. He hit a huge 3. Everybody hit big shots in that game. Sadiq hit big shots.
Yeah.
JJ did. The offense just got to get a little smoother. I'm not going to get to the point where people are like, they're not running offense. They are. It's just not clicking yet. But I think this team is different with the isolations they run, that a lot of them can get to the basket. If there's a game where Nate Kings is getting to the basket, JJ's getting to the basket, Cayenne got to the basket on a huge play the first half last night, if they're able to do that, this team could be a lot of fun. Is it a tournament team yet? No. but they've got a chance. And if this team gets better, like all of Reds teams have during the season, they'll be okay. The other thing I want to hit on, everybody with the whole red kid coach thing needs to stop for a little bit. If you get the buy-in that this guy has gotten on defense this year and the buy-in he got last year with a very limited roster and talent and got those guys to play hard, his teams play hard for him.
Yeah. And they played hard at the end of last season when quote unquote had nothing to play for.
They had nothing. His guys go for him. That first year's team was a little crazy. So I'm not going to blame him for that. This year's team and last year's team, they play for this dude, and that's what you want.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt. All right, let's take a timeout. We've got Fran Brown's press conference coming up here in about 10, 15 minutes from now. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Point Guard Advisors and Burdick Ford are proud supporters of game day radio coverage of Syracuse.
Hey, guys, I don't want to. You guys are going to. You did it to JJ, and I don't want to see it now. I'm seeing it already. The team's not going to be worse with Donnie Freeman playing basketball. All right? Stop. .315 homer. It's minimum requisite to have a guy whose team won 14 games last year out there still busting their ass. Look at what happened at Miami. They lost like 3 games. If you guys knew what Steve did before the show, you would have asked me to slap him right in the face. He just came at me this morning for no reason. And he knew, oh my God, you knew exactly what you were doing.
I said I'm half joking before I even spoke.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you weren't half joking.
That means half joking. I half wanted to drive you crazy.
He touched me in the good product point. I did wear Calvin Klein Obsession cologne. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's not good, Ryan. I wouldn't look at that as a good thing that he hasn't flipped yet. Him not signing is a bad sign. He could still sign at Syracuse, yeah. I would say if he was going to, though, he would have done it.
Especially what he said, too, where he was like, after thinking about this.
Yeah, maybe it matters that you got lost 70-7 and got blown out by BC. It looks, because the average person, it looks like a difficult build back. Okay, Fran Brown's a fraud. You're right. The way people turn on people, it's taken me 5 years to turn on you, but how fast fan bases do it after one stupid announcement. Wouldn't you want someone talking in your ear if you were a high school kid? Like, yeah, especially.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And a new poster.
How old are you, Griff?
Custom printing, too.
And
A new chair?
It's time to sit.
Because I don't think that was the worst team in Syracuse. The worst quarterback play, yeah. Thank you, LA Orange. Syracuse crowd sucks. I'm going to say that. I mean, it's not got nothing to do with the crowd rush. The fan base is so reactive. Just get out there and be loud. Like, everywhere you go, the crowds are loud the whole game, and Syracuse fans just sit on their ass and wait for something to happen. It was so fun during that 10-0 run. Like, if they could put a game together like that, where the offense looked like that, they were out in train. Like, you go to Louisville and you can't even hear yourself think for the whole game. Syracuse fans are twiddling their thumbs, bitching about the weather. The snow played into it last night, but, I mean, come on. This is Syracuse. This is Syracuse.
Wasn't a good crowd.
I didn't think that, like
Manny seemed to think it was.
It was-
said it was pretty good size.
it was good size. It was just sucked. It was just.
I would just say, like, we're going into the signing day press conference next. Just bring it up on the air.
Okay. Who's the pending?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
It'll be a caller. Thanks. We're remembering the late, great Scott Weiland today, Steve. Stone Temple Pilots. The season could have been dead and bloated last night in basketball.
All right.
Not a good look on the signing day front, though.
No, so Calvin Russell has announced that he is not signing today. Pete Nakos over at On3 Sports, we've had him on the show before. He is reporting that it's down between Michigan and Miami, and that he's planning to sign with one of those two on Friday. So, these things can happen, obviously, leading up to signing day. It's unfortunate because it seemed like Calvin Russell was a firm commitment, and at the last second, he's decided he's not signing.
I think Angeli getting hurt, that might be the biggest loss.
Yeah.
If he's good,
Right.
That may have been the thing that Angeli not being here cost them the most, is just the inability to get the receiver the ball down the stretch could affect you.
Let's go through these phone calls quick. We've got Fran Brown's press conference coming up here in the next 5-10 minutes whenever he steps to the podium. But in the meantime, we'll go to David in East Syracuse. David, what's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I want to talk about the game last night. A couple quick points. Obviously, the foul shooting has been an issue all year. If you looked at the stats closely, if you minus Kyle, they went 9 for 12.
Okay.
So that's encouraging.
Yeah, but
I realize
you can't take your center off the court like the
I
whole game.
understand that. But look, the foul shooting has been a problem all the way down the roster all year.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking for a silver lining in that. So, overall, they shot pretty good. The second thing is, at the end of the game, did you guys notice what's the rule on, the catch and shoot? At point 5, I'm thinking this game's over.
We discussed that.
And then it got to point 4, which wasn't home cooking. The guy got the shot, and, if you see the replay, they showed him numerous times. If that ball goes in, they lose.
Yeah, it looked like he got it off.
So, isn't the rule anything less than 0.5? You don't have enough time for catch and shoot? Right. That was my understanding. So I'm like, why was that even?
Yeah, 0.3's got to be all in one motion like a tip. I don't think that would have counted. In my opinion, I don't think it would have counted had they gone to the replay. But, I'm sure if it went in, obviously they would have looked at it. I would find it hard to believe that would have counted, but shouldn't have come to that. Let me quickly clarify. In terms of Calvin Russell, I was just going, I didn't see the tweet myself. I was going off what was told to me. So just let me clarify with the tweet. Pete Nakos didn't say that Syracuse was out of the mix. He said Michigan and Miami are other factors. I'm looking at the tweet right now. So he said that there, again, still a possibility, I guess, that he could sign with Syracuse. This is not good news, though, that he didn't sign today and that Michigan and Miami are involved. So I did want to clarify. I saw some people in the chat bringing up. It was just going off what was told to me. So Syracuse still involved, but Michigan and Miami, other factors in the that's what he tweeted out.
I love when people do it. If we took the worst free throw shooter and he didn't shoot, we would be good.
The other thing I would say about that, though, is that it was mostly Nate Kings, right? And we know that Nate Kings has the ability to be a good free throw shooter. He was last year, went 5 for 6 last night. Yeah. Sadiq missed one, JJ missed one, and Kyan made both of his. So it was... Yeah, William Kyle was 4 for 10. So, yes, he had a bulk of the misses last night.
All right, Jimmy.
Jimmy in Baltimore, does that say? Jimmy, what's up? Jimmy, you there?
Nope. No Jimmy.
Okay. All right. Shall we take a timeout, or do you want to keep it here until Fran takes to the podium? Take a timeout. Okay. We will join Fran Brown's press conference as soon as he steps to the podium. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I had that right. That wasn't my fault.
What?
The board was right. I don't mind He's like Scrappy Doo, that Griffin. Annoying, but he's got a purpose. Griff, you're Scrappy Doo of the show. Everybody hates you, but you do your job. We get it. I didn't get how would I get Rubby Roos last night? I was working. Some of us have jobs. Steve's a big Scooby-Doo fan. You hate Scrappy, right?
Yeah.
I'm hated too, Griffin, so don't. I get it.
You have it called up?
I will, Steve.
Okay.
That's their job. All I got to do is pot it up, bro. I'll have it ready. Tim comes and does this to us when we're ready.
Gotcha.
So maybe he could come and ask us if we're ready. Or let us know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We haven't talked about the Nathan George jump shot with 55 seconds.
The cues. I've been Carmelo Anthony bought my seat, so if you would like to start, I might start a GoFundMe to buy Carmelo out of his seat.
It was Lala last night.
Yeah. The Anthony family has bought me out of my seat, so we're going to start a GoFundMe. I am sitting behind Matt Park and Coach Sadler now. Who the hell's messing with my mouse? I had a female usher come up to me and go, "Are you Polly?" And I go, "Yes, I am." And she was like, "I like your show." And I said, "Thank you." And I said, "What's your name?" She told me her name, and I'm too big to remember. But she said, "I agree with you more than Steve. He's unrelatable." And I go, "You're right. He is unrelatable. He's the most unrelatable human in any department I've ever met."
That's funny.
I go,
"Did you say you want to go to Lights on the Lake together?"
No, she didn't, Steve. But she nailed it. I'm guessing she meant like on social issues.
Food.
Yes.
Watch your favorite ESPN Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportstalk.com.
Plush, Steve. Stone Temple Pilots is our artist of the day. It's signing day at Syracuse, Steve. You know that?
I did know that.
And you know what? If you're a student and you're coming to the area, there's a new IKEA at Destiny USA. You can get your kitchen essentials, Steve, college solutions, and more at IKEA Syracuse. Everything you need to go from IKEA is now at Destiny USA. So those kids coming in, they can get their build-a-desk, carpeting, meatballs.
Anything you need.
Yeah.
One-stop shop.
Yeah. IKEA, Destiny. My headphones just broke. I need to go buy headphones. at IKEA.
I
apparently.
can see that. I was wondering. They're not supposed to be like that.
Yes, no, they're not. Not ideal.
There you go. No?
I don't know. Close enough.
Better. Better.
I look ridiculous on camera. Thank you. All right. I believe we're ready for this. It's I'll let the guys type in the chat if we're good to go here. I'll have it potted up for us, Steve, and we'll hear from Fran Brown on signing day.
And he can only talk about the players who have signed. So I know everybody's wondering about Calvin Russell. He can't comment on it.
Yeah.
Sure, he's probably not even going to be asked about it because he can't comment on it. But we'll see how that whole situation plays itself out.
Who the hell scheduled the biggest win of the basketball season the night before signing day? Not bright.
That's how the calendar goes. That's why that's why Lane Kiffin had to make this decision when he did. And other coaches are in the situation where they got to figure out where they're going for next year before this year ends. Because
I wish somebody would poach me from this show and I didn't have to work with you anymore.
You don't mean that.
I wish I could. After what you did this morning,
Will you stop it?
I'm
don't overreact. Come on.
I can't wait for the holiday party tomorrow because I'm going to sit at a different table than you.
It was all in good fun.
Nope. You and Tim can go sit at a table by yourself, and I'll go hang out with some cool people. Sit there and watch you dab your pizza at the Wildcat while I'm having it.
Is that where it is, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't know where it was?
No.
Oh, damn, I shouldn't have told you. That would have been great.
Normally I get an email. I did not get an email this year, so I was under the impression maybe I wasn't invited.
All right. Nobody has written in the chat whether or not we're waiting on it.
We got a text that they're waiting.
Okay.
They're waiting. We're waiting. We're in wait and see mode.
Yeah, I'm a professional and don't use my phone during the broadcast. They're waiting for him to get to the podium.
Yes. So we'll take his entire press conference, and then we'll chat about it. We've got Adrian Autry coming up at 1:00. We've got Voice of the Orange, Matt Park, 1:30.
515 says Paulie busts chops all year long, and Steve does it once, and he's dead to Paulie. This wasn't chop busting. This was.
It was a little bit. Come on.
This was a personal attack, and it would have been different if he had done it on the air and made like a bit out of it, so I knew he was joking. He came in with an intent to infuriate me prior to the show.
And apparently it worked.
Yes. I don't want to get into it now because we might have to cut out of it but he just was asking if the product would have been bad if Syracuse lost by.
I said if Tennessee made that shot, would the product have been bad?
And yes, it would have because it's been 3 years.
It would have been a bad result.
It would have been a better product. Yes, it would have been a better looking loss than they had suffered. But it still would have been a loss, and it was time for
bad result.
It's time for us to stop patting the team on the back.
I wasn't patting him on the back. I didn't say was it a good product if they lost. I said would that have been a bad product had that shot gone in?
Yes, the whole overall.
If one shot had gone in.
Yes, it would have because they would have lost again, and the season would have been over. Steve, it doesn't matter if it's one loss. We're good.
All right, here we go.
We're potted up.
Thank God. Here's Fran.
Specifically about the players that we've been now. So he's that important questions. I'll turn it over to Coach and anything you want to say off the top.
Yep, off the top, first off, I want to congratulate Coach Red and our men's basketball team. They've done that game last night was legit. It was just a great atmosphere, really excited and thankful for what they've done and how hard they work. And I just want to make sure I give a shout out to Coach Red, the basketball team, Starling just being clutch at the end of the game meant a lot. And also to Coach Felicia Jack, I think they're doing a really good job too. Both teams are showing you how to work, and I was very thankful to see that and just happy for what they've done. I'm also happy about the new class we just signed, right? I told you guys for the past 8-9 weeks about just us building and getting ready, and these guys are a major part of it. I'm excited about all of them. I think they're really good football players, but they're also great student athletes, like students, right? Student athletes, they are coming here because of what they know that we're building from a football standpoint, but then they're also coming here because they know the Block S holds a lot of weight throughout the country. They'll be able to go anywhere in the world when they're done playing a game and get a job. And that's something that I think a lot of times people forget about, how important the S is and how important it is to these kids after they come here and they see all the legends that win here, the history that's here, not just from a football standpoint, but also just around the school. When you talk about Newhouse and Whitman and all our different schools that we have, there's so many iconic people that have went to this school that have done great things. When you're just thinking about the Falk School, you know, and just who he is and what he means to Syracuse University. So just really excited about our signing day and all the guys, and ready for all the questions.
Open up for questions now. Chris can start us off, and then we'll go to Javon right after that.
Fran, knowing you cannot use any names, there's obviously a high-profile guy from Miami Northwestern that committed and didn't sign. What happened there?
It's the nature of the business. It's where we are right now. Final hours, a lot of things happen, different pieces of it. But I have complete confidence. I'm really good at recruiting, but I'm also great at building relationships. And I got faith in that Block S, right? I got faith in the S. But now we can't, there's a lot of places in Florida that you can go and get a good education and be in school also. But I got faith in the S, and I got faith in myself and our staff, and I continuously work, right? And I work my butt off, and I'm gonna say I'm confident that I finished. We got to sprint through the finish line. We'll be fine. You get the 3rd, 4th, and 5th to be able to sign, correct? So I'll be good to go.
And when you say you're confident, you're always confident. You mean with this individual?
I'm confident.
And then, is there anything you can tell us about? Is it do you think it's financial? Do you think it's the offense has struggled?
It could be a mixture of everything, but I just know that we got a really good relationship. You know, that's genuine love for me. There's genuine love that I have for him, so that love isn't fake. There's time that's been put in, right? And how do you show trust through time? So I'm confident, right? I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in this Block S, right? I'm confident in what we're building here. I'm confident that people get a chance to see this being built and going. And financial, there's always things you can go do for money, right? But that doesn't mean that you're going to be successful at the end. I'm all about work, right? And just keep putting the work in, and the product might not look the way you want it to look in the beginning. But when you're working and you understand and you know you're working, I know what the ending results are, right? And for me, I always talk to you guys about, it's about the finish, right? It's about what we're doing and what we're about. So I'm confident in Dart. I'm confident in our core values. I'm confident in our football players on our team. People want to come play with these guys, right? Byron Washington, Demetrius Samuels, Steve Angeli, and so many guys on our football team that are good. Jamie Treble. We got a lot of players that can play ball, and people want to come here and play football with them. So I feel good about where we are and where we stand, and continue to communicate, and let's just sprint to the finish line. It's just got to have confidence, right? It can't be, it's not like a fan thing where I'm happy one week and they did this, now I'm mad, and then, they win, now I like them again. If you win, you win, right? When you win something, you stay in it and you fight all the way to the end. And at the end, it all works itself out. And if it doesn't, then it ain't the end.
And then the last one, and I'll move on. Did you get advance notice, or did you find out an hour ago, or a half hour ago, and we found out?
I was on the phone until about 1:30 this morning, just talking with all types of players, right? It's just everything that go on. You're not the only one. Somebody else still didn't come through yet. There's different things that happen, so you just gotta. That's part of the game, right? That's what makes it fun, right? To figure out who going end up at the end, right? Because when it comes this way, so we just gonna see. It's also good that let's see what the fans think, right? See where they'll be at. Oh, I know he couldn't do it. I knew this wouldn't happen. Then what if he does come, right? Or then what if this happens? So it's like put your money where your mouth is.
That'd be crazy. Javon?
Fran, can you talk to me about two guys in specific, Zaid Lott out of Providence Day and Mari Guff out of Thomas Jefferson? What you see from those two?
Zaid Lott is a big athlete that can throw the football. Of course, we had some quarterback issues this year, so for me, that was important that I went to his game. It was one of the few schools that I actually went to and watched him play in a good game, so I can see him read defenses, throw the ball, lead a team, right? Seeing how much they follow him and do stuff. I think the moment he steps on campus, he naturally going to step into that role. He's a guy that people naturally follow. Not a big talker, but he just works, right? But intelligent. He comes from a great program, high school football coach who's put a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, including his own son, has done that, and just trains a lot of people. So he comes from a good program, a good pedigree, where he gets in the door, he'll already be a little bit more advanced than the average freshman coming to college. Like, he'll come to college like a redshirt sophomore due to Coach Greer and the great job that he does over there at Providence Day, and we knew he was a leader because Chris Pill, who played with him in high school and knows him really well, all those guys around each other, and he was a leader back then, and we're excited about him now.
And then Amari Godfather.
Mike, I always tell Amari, like, from watching this tape and just going through it, he reminds me of Peter Warwick, and that's my guy. I told him that this morning, and he reminded me of it. I'm excited to see him and Meach back there catching punts and just doing different things, and him getting the ball on reverses and little quick outs and just curls and taking it to the house. He's a really good wide receiver. He's a great kid, come from a good mom and dad. Really thankful for them and his little sister. It was an honor to get to know them through this year. It meant a lot to be able to do that. And back to Zaid, it was really good to get to know his mom and father and his grandparents too. They got to come up last week and they were all here for the game. So was Amari, right? They've all been here a few times, so that tells you who they are, right? Even through all the struggles and all the things that we went through, they were at those games with us in the locker room afterwards, and they understand and they know what we're building and where we're going at. So you got to be thankful for guys like that who has so many other offers and could go to so many places, especially when they're 20 and 30 and 40 minutes and 2 hours from your home. They decide to fly over all those places and come to this great weather that we have here.
We'll go to Samantha in the second row, and was Aiden or Zach that had their hand up? Zach, what was that?
You said me first, right? Hey, Coach. I want to know, considering how young these players are when they have to make such big decisions about their lives, if any player comes to you and says they're unsure about what to do, what's your advice to them to make sure that they're doing what is genuinely right for them, and how do you help them make that decision?
You got to take me out of it when I'm doing that with them. So first thing I tell them, you need to pray. You can't ask me because I'm going to do what's best for me, right? Especially because what's best for me is to make sure that I give Syracuse the best chance to win. And then I just ask them that, right? There's pros and cons in the whole piece of it, right? Like, you got to ask them why. Like, what's making you feel this way? What's making you feel that you need to go in a different direction? Or what's making you feel that this is the place? And if you don't know, what do you not know, right? Sometimes, you know how the brain is. You just start thinking different stuff and thinking different things. But I kind of just tell them you need to pray on that, right? I can't give you the answer because the answer I'm going to give you is going to be fit for us unless you come in with different things that you feel just aren't adding up and you feel this might not be the place for you. And sometimes whatever you feel is real. Right, so what you feel is real. If you feel that, Coach, I ain't really connected with y'all that much, or I just don't see myself being successful there, I'm gonna say, all right, bro, I'll get with you later, be safe. I had somebody the other day call who his dad is damn near this his community almost, and went through different things, and we offered him first, and we was on him and got everybody to go, talked to him about keep working, and he was like, he having second thoughts about stuff, and I said, man, I wish you the best, buddy, you be safe. I mean, you're a great guy. We wish you all the best. Take care, because I don't want you to come here if you don't feel that in your heart, right? And you feel like you need to go do something else. I'll holler at you. Hopefully we play you.
Aiden and Zach.
Yeah, Coach, a few of the guys that did sign are from Florida, from the Miami area. Just how important is that for you and your recruiting staff to build out of Florida right now?
Well, that's a great place. I think it's one of the best football in the country, right? Some of the best ball there. So you want to be able to go there and get players. Right, if you don't got kids from Florida on your football team, it's going to be tough for you to change the program or tough to be able to win. So we're going to always go into Florida. They've been going to Florida for a long time here, and we'll continue to do that because successful people, most of them from Florida.
And then you guys also signed #1 punter in the nation.
Yep.
Obviously, you guys just had a great punter. What should the fans know about the punter that you just signed, and how do you evaluate a punter when you're recruiting at the high school game?
How far they punt? How high it is? Nah, he got a lot of swag. Him and Jack are really similar. Jack was very confident. This kid got a little bit more hip to him though, but Jack was confident. Jack didn't really care about what he had on. Jack will wear anything at any point in time. This kid he got some swag, right? Jimmy's the man. He's gonna make special teams everybody gonna watch it. He's a guy. I could see us now have to tell him you can't have parties at your dorm room, right? He's a different guy. He's very intelligent, 4.2, 4.3, something like that GPA. He's locked in when it comes to the classwork, but he fits in with everybody. He's just charismatic. He's very charismatic, so I like him a lot.
Fran, in terms of the sheer size of this class, I mean, you had 26 commits. Kind of what goes into wanting a class that big, and did you plan on having a class that big?
Because we got enough where there'll be guys come to me about going to portal, different things of that nature. And by becoming one portal now, after this, you guys will see this January, it's going to get scary and people are going to stop running to the portal. So as they stop going to the portal after this January hits and you try to go, see, what I'm not going to do is this. All we doing is swapping twos. So that's why I wanted to take this class, because everybody's twos are upset, so they all want to leave because they're twos. So guys are just swapping twos right now, swapping different ones. So for me, I'm not trying to swap spit. I'm going to stick with my guys and develop our guys and stick to this model, because I truly believe that it's going to slow down after a lot of guys. There's going to be some good players that don't end up going where they want, or some people that's trying to chase the quick buck real fast, and then it end up not working out to the best of what you wanted. So I'm gonna stick to this, and then we'll still hit the portal to get some key pieces that we need, right? So that's why.
Alexander Haskell's a guy you guys flipped from Penn State. Just kind of walk me through what you see in him as a player, and what
he's tough. He's just all football. He loves football. He'll practice 10 hours a day if you let him. I think he could play big end and he could play some 3-tech. He's super athletic, but he a tough. He's football, right? And that's what he's about, and that's what his family's about. And it was good to be able to get him, being as though he got a little brother that play in South Jersey at Whitman Park. His pops is a really good guy, and his mom's an amazing lady. So to be able to have them and their whole family dynamics up here, and being able to get him to come here finally, and he was a guy that we wanted early on that ended up committing somewhere else, and then we were able to end up getting him now, and everybody was trying up until last night, calling him and on the phone with him, everybody up the whole 95. Everybody up the whole 95 was just on the phone with him, and he's sending me text messages, let me see him, what they say and all like that. And I can't wait till we get to play football again next year and everything be the right way, but they'll see it. I'm gonna remember all those texts.
We'll go to Christian and then Brent, and then after that we can open it up for questions about anything anybody's got.
Fran, you talked about the connections you're making in Florida with the recruits there. How important is your relationship and the skills of your general manager, Tommy, in order to recruit that region well?
He's done good. I don't think it's just Tommy. I think it's our staff, right? Because Tommy doesn't have to get the opportunity to go out all the time. It's the entire staff. But he's doing a really good job there. He understands and he knows it. His job is to manage the entire organization when it comes to what we're doing from a financial standpoint, and make sure we watch the entire practice and see guys with production and watch every game from start to finish to be able to see those things so we can see progress in production. That's what his job is, not just Florida. Florida is a team. That's us, mainly me, right? I have to do that a lot myself, and other guys. We're all doing it, but that's what we think of. But Florida's important, right? Florida's our backyard. It's a part of the backyard.
And you also mentioned throughout the year Byron Washington being a leader at the freshman. Who do you see from this class stepping up to being a leader immediately?
Immediately? Zaid. He the quarterback. And then when I get that one finish later. Yeah.
Pass it right over to Brent.
Fran, you mentioned how important Florida is, but with your Northeast roots, just that's also important. Just how do you still prioritize, building a wall around New York and the Northeast and trying to get the best of the best to commit here?
I mean, we're consistently going at who's the best and trying to offer all those guys first and being around and recruiting them. The way we're going to change it and be able to flip, it's just going to be a bunch of good players from all over that are going to start to want to come to the school, right? But this is home. I mean, if you look at it, we got a bunch of guys that are from here, from Pennsylvania, from Delaware, New Jersey, New York. Like, they're from everywhere, right? And that's what we said we was going to do, and that's what we're still doing. So it's the same thing. You're going to just recruit your backyard, but that's a part of the backyard. Right, like Florida's a part of the recruiting area, which I talked about when I first got the job. That's a part of the backyard. That's the footprint from Canada through the DMV and Florida, right? You got to be able to recruit that. Then there's other places that you can just go in your spot a little bit. But Florida is like the backyard. That's damn near like New Jersey almost, if that makes sense.
Transitioning, Coach, to some coaching changes you made this week. Just what did your evaluation show to make those changes?
Just statistically in the record, just some things that we have to do from where we are from a run standpoint, what I'm looking for. I already got some people in line when it comes to certain jobs. Myself and Coach Robinson sat down and we just talked about where we are, and that's not what we want things to look like. There's things that we have to be able to do and go, and we decided to have Coach E be able to step to the side and move to a co-defensive coordinator title and, assistant head coach, because that's what he's really good at, being able to facilitate and do that and be able to be. So he'll do more of the upfront stuff with the D-line, because he's always been known as one of the best D-line coaches in the country, to still go and help out with that, but then help me with a lot of assistant head coaching things, right? Being able to be in that field and push there, because ultimately I know that's the seat that he's going to end up sitting in, and that's what he does extremely well, is he understands and knows people, right? He's really good with people, so that'll help us out. And teams, it was just something that we wanted to become. I talk about Dart all the time, and it's important to me that we're detailed all the time.
All right, that was Fran Brown's live press conference from today on National Signing Day. We're going to take a timeout here. We're going to check in on the market. We're going to wrap up hour number 1. Adrian Autry set to join us at the top of hour number 2. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Bristol's FW Webb Syracuse Legend Show, celebrating our
Cut out perfectly. Just where we needed it. No, it's fine. We were going to cut out after he answered the Elijah Robinson anyway, so we had discussed it. Damn right it is.
What's the is it Oswego County Mutual?
Correct. So what do you want him to say to you, LA Orange? Is that what you want me to ask you specifically? Did anybody watch that? Like, he answered the question, Bigsby. He answered way more than I thought he would have or should have, actually, but... You guys are extra spicy today. You're like Steve. You guys are choosing violence this morning. Syracuse got a quad 1, so do you think I could get a date to Lights on the Lake?
Yeah.
Anything could happen, right? The truth doesn't actually always hurt. Like, what if someone said I was beautiful? That's the truth. And it feels good. It feels good, dude. Hey, you're handsome. You're damn right I am. Thank you. That didn't hurt at all, that truth. You are talented, Paulie. You're goddamn right I am. That truth didn't hurt.
You said that like Jack Nicholson and A Few Good Men. Did you order the Code Red? You're damn right I did.
Welcome back. We're remembering Scott Weiland today. It's Stone Temple Pilots Vaseline, Steve. I just had a profound moment. Someone in the chat said, truth hurts. And the truth doesn't always hurt, Steve. You know? What if someone said, hey, Paul, you're handsome? That's the truth. And it feels good. It feels great. You know what else is a good truth? If the stock market's up and your 401k is rolling and they come on from Lee Baldwin and tell us.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that feels good. That's a good truth.
Let's bring on Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company. What's up, Mike?
Guys, you are right on. The market is up again.
Yes, that's a good
continuing
truth.
Strength. Yes, the last couple of weeks we've been strong most days, and we're continuing today. Across the board, all three major averages are positive. Our diamonds, we're going to go with two retailers, American Eagle and Macy's, both reported this morning, had better than expected earnings. Stocks are trading higher. And our dog, we're going to go with Lockheed Martin. That's down a couple percent. It's been down a couple days this week. Overall, it's been a great stock, but not doing it today. So pretty good day for the market, coming off a good win last night from the Orange.
All right, it's what we like to hear. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Lee Baldwin, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Be sure to visit LeeBaldwin.com. We do have to get to Adrian Autry here in a moment. Real quick, I saw Mike McAllister came across a statement from Calvin Russell's agent, and it was posted on Twitter. And this is, again, Calvin Russell's agent on the situation. He said he has decided to push back his signing this morning as he needed more time to pray on the final decision. He absolutely loves Fran Brown and is committed to Q's football, but just wants to make sure he is 100% certain with his decision before signing by the end of day Friday. So, again, that's Calvin Russell's agent for what it's worth. Keep that in mind. We'll talk with Adrian Autry next on ESPN Radio.
Guess what's for dinner tonight?
Pork chops.
No, think
steak.
Think Rick Beardsley.
Shrimp scampi.
No, no.
Meatball parm.
No, close. It is a parm.
Eggplant parm.
No,
Chicken parm.
No. Come on, his original parm.
I don't remember.
Sausage parm.
Sausage parm.
I'm going to tell Rick you don't care about him.
Half of what he says goes in one ear and out the other.
So it's just not me that you think you're better than.
I don't think I'm better than him. He says a lot of stuff when
you
he
look
comes
like
on.
a
It's hard
couple
to
of
remember.
storm clouds on camera today, Steve.
We do?
Yeah, I don't know. You look gray, not green.
I'm just green.
Vegan lentil chill. I don't know if it's a tradition like elsewhere, but my mom used to make lentil soup on New Year's. Do you like big sausage, Steve? That's a chat question. Guys, like, we will ask that, Decora, but coaches can't answer. You can't answer those, coaches can't answer questions about health anymore. It's been like that for years. You get the same answer every time. Anybody else do the lentil soup thing, or was it just my mom? Sarah's family did good. Good. All right. Shrimp on New Year's. We did this is it 7 fishes a couple times, but yuck. I couldn't do this on Christmas Eve. Now we do pasta. Lentils aren't food. Yeah, that's what my mom told me too. Lentils are good. Good luck. Do you do fondue, Steve?
No.
No fondue. There's too much fun in fondue for Steve. Too cheesy, too creamy. Sour Girls, Stone Temple Pilots, our artist of the day. And Steve, Hughes basketball got a huge win last night.
Huge win. And let's bring on the head coach of the Orange, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. Coach, congrats on the win. You certainly deserve that one. How did it feel picking up that win last night? What was that like for you and the guys afterwards?
That was exciting for our guys and for our coaches and staff, and just the work that you put in, and after coming off some close games that you thought you should have had coming from Vegas, it just felt good that you kind of get the result because you put the work in. That you able to do that and be able to do it in front of your, on your home court, in front of your fans and the community and supporters.
You know, it did feel like, and Paulie and I were talking about this at the top of the show, there are a lot of similarities between that game and the Houston game. Just really high level from both teams in terms of the intensity, the defensive pressure. It's a tight game. It goes right down to the wire. It really comes down to one possession, tie game. You guys have the ball, and this time you're able to make a play and make a free throw and get out of there with a win. What did you learn collectively, not necessarily you and the coaching staff, but the players as well, going through that experience of the Houston game that maybe applied to last night in the late game situation?
I think after, like you said, that Houston game, I think it was really understanding, we talked about the margins, we talked about the margins of, in those certain situations, you got to make the right decisions and make the right plays. And I thought JJ, again, him and Nate, they both, they just made the right play and Will cashed in. That's how this game goes sometimes. I mean, again, we actually got the foul this time. Last time we didn't get the foul.
Yeah, right.
We're just making the right play and just really being in that situation. I don't think our guys, they were kind of used to it because we was in that situation similar, both nights. Kansas, the difference was a little, the separation was a little bit bigger, but you still were kind of in the game up until like the last two and a half minutes of that game. So I thought being in those close games out in Vegas really helped us in this game right here.
You mentioned JJ in the play, and he made the right play. He didn't react like he had made the right play when he got the ball to him. Was that, it was the right basketball play, but was there something else drawn up?
No, it was really for him to kind of try to get downhill, get to his pull-up or finish it. But, sometimes, when the basketball instincts sometimes kick in sometimes. And, Will was open on the roll. And I was just hoping that Will could have got off the floor and got the shot off and maybe got the two and then just depend on one free throw. But, again, it was the right play. It was for him to make the decision. If he didn't have it, Will was supposed to, we had another shooter circling behind him just in case.
All right, so it's a 1-point game. Tennessee goes down and calls timeout. Obviously when you're the coach with the ball, you're drawing up a play. When you're the coach and you need a stop, can you share with us kind of what the message is during a timeout like that? I'm sure you're going over options or what you might see. I mean, how do you get your guys ready for a game-saving defensive possession as opposed to drawing up a play to try to win the game offensively?
We talk about our chatter. Our communication has to be at a level 5, especially in those situations. And you kind of had an idea. You knew that either they were going to go to Gillespie, which was their first option, and their second option, because they was having success going inside, that they were going to probably go into carry. So it was really just being on high alert, being able to chatter, communicate, and really just having a stance of and trying not to foul, but just being aggressive if you can and not fouling.
There were a lot of heroes last night, a lot of individual heroes in that game. I guess let's start with the first half and Nate Kings and 19 points in 18 minutes. And, when you signed him, I think we all looked at his stats and we said, wow, this guy is a shooter, right? And we're seeing a lot more, from his game in terms of getting to the basket and the way he can play defense. And I guess, can you speak to how well-balanced, I guess, his game is and his versatility? And it's not just a spot-up shooter. He can do a lot of other things.
Yeah, when we evaluated him, we knew that he was a two-way guy. Obviously, a guy that can really shoot the basketball. I think you guys have heard the word a lot that we tried to add versatility to our team. And I think the versatility part is being able to play on both ends and not necessarily being exceptional in one thing, which he is an exceptional shooter. He's a little different. And we were just thrilled, to be able to get him because we just knew, what you guys finally seen is what, we think he would bring to our team. He's a super competitive, super laser focused, and all about the team.
Coach, you also brought in William Kyle, and he's already got more blocks this year than anybody had all of last year for you guys. Maybe you could break down his game, and you were telling everybody, don't worry about his size. He's he's going to make up for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a guy that we actually tried to get involved with 2 years ago when he transferred out of South Dakota. He wound up going to UCLA. But, when you really look at him, like he's a basketball player, but defensively he's special. He's a disruptor. He's, he just does a lot of things. He could move his feet. He has, great timing. I mean, the blocks that he made last night were unbelievable. I mean, he helped and turned back around and blocked the shot, with his left hand. He's just a disruptor, but he has game. Like, he can finish around the basket a little bit more, and I think we got to try to look for him a little bit more down there because he has great touch around the rim.
How about the two freshmen, Kyan and Sadiq? And you never want to see anybody get hurt, but obviously you've missed JJ for a couple games, and now he's back, and currently without Donnie. And we'll get to Donnie here in a second with you, but as a result, Sadiq's had to play more, and Kyan got some more time maybe in the early going. Are you seeing that the more that they're on the court, do you like the way they're progressing? And both of them, they didn't have gaudy numbers last night necessarily, although Sadiq White did go 10 and 9. But Kyan 7 points, just kind of stayed within himself, didn't try to do too much. Do you like the way the freshmen are progressing?
I love the way those two are progressing, and they're getting better, understanding what we're doing on both ends, and whether it's offensively, the shot selection, the type of shots that we're looking for, and defensively being able to make some rotations, and the effort and the level 5 effort that they have to have. And I thought they both did that. I mean, Kyan made some great rotations yesterday, out of our defense, and again, he's a guy that can score the ball. We know he can score the ball. Now we're just trying to, continually put him in, what's a good shot, what's a shot that we want to stay away from. And then Sadiq, I love his intensity. I love his athleticism, I thought yesterday he rebounded the basketball like we need him to rebound. And also he can finish around the basket. So I thought we got him the ball around the basket, and he was more active, moving and cutting yesterday offensively. But love the way those two guys are progressing. They are, two big-time freshmen, and they're going to continue to get better and continue to help us.
Coach, you bring up the level 5 a lot, and how do you keep them at level 5 after that win, with the upcoming schedule? And is it important that they do keep it up and that becomes muscle memory moving into ACC?
I think you just said it. You make a muscle when we hop on it. We practice at level 5, and when we're not at level 5, we reset, and we get it going again. It's something that's hard to do, and so when I'm explaining this, about people, is just that, we practice really hard. We practice at a level 5, and we really try to hit that benchmark every time we step on the court, and so it's something that that they start to understand how you need to play, how hard you need to play, what that level needs to look like, what that communication chat needs to look like. And that's why it was really so important for us to really pull this win out yesterday against Tennessee, because I thought they did that in Vegas and we just didn't get the results.
I know you were asked about Donnie last night, but we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't ask you if there's any sort of update. And I guess one of the questions that I keep getting, and I'm curious if we can ask you, is is this injury? You've said he's coming back at some point. Is this injury something that will bother him the rest of the season, or do you anticipate when he does come back, he could get back to 100% at some point?
No,
this
we
season?
expect him to be back, 100%. From what I'm hearing from the doctors and information that I'm getting, we expect him to be back 100%. I'll know more about his progression of later on this afternoon when we meet with the doctors and the team gets together. But he's moving well. He's being active. So we expect him to be back.
Coach, you bring up the level 5 on defense. On offense, is there something you're trying to go for? I don't know if you know this or not. The announcers were kind of critical of the offense in Vegas. Is there something? Is it working the way you want it to work? And what are you looking for out of your offense?
Yeah, I thought the game that they were critical with, that's a former players, and it's funny, man. Former players, they are very critical when they get the mic behind them. But I thought we got good shots. I thought we didn't make shots, and then in that game in particular, Houston, I thought we got good. We had a good game plan and got the shots that we wanted. We just couldn't cash in on the free throw line. And I thought that was the case for both games, and really all the games so far. But our offense is, we have different things that we want to try to, game plan for when we play against different teams. The way they guard things, whether we got two really good dynamic guards and three dynamic guards actually, and ball screens is something that we use, and we use that a lot. And we try to do different things of trying to get them in situations. And, William Cowell's an exceptional rim runner and a lob threat. So that puts pressure on the rim and sinks the defense. And so we're trying to get that to kind of cohesively go. And yet, that's the part of our, progress right now where we got to really continue to make strides is on the offensive end. Our defense has to continually get tighter and straighten up, but the defense is good enough to allow us to win. And that's what we want, right? We want to be able to depend on our defense. We want to be able to depend on our defense so we can get our offense going.
How big of a stretch was that against defensive teams for you guys compared to what you're going to face the rest of the year? Will you face a group of four like that again, even if it's spread out?
Yeah, come to mind right now when I watch our league is really good this year. As you can tell, the first day of the ACC SEC Challenge, I think we won 6 or 7 games. The one team that comes to mind that's probably like that is Miami. Very physical team. They got some big guys down there. They remind me of one of those Big 12 SEC teams with athletes. Clemson is always like that. So, yeah, we'll have some more games in our league that will be physical just like that. And our league is really good this year. We'll probably have, 8 to 9 teams, once we start conference play in that quad 1, quad 2 vicinity. So our league has really, really done a good job this year.
Last one for me, Coach. Obviously, a great win. Everybody's feeling good. There's got to be a lot of momentum as you head back to practice here in the next day or two. You've got a week off. Does this week off come at a good time? Given the fact that you had that rigorous trip to Vegas and a tough one last night. And again, I guess, what are you trying to get accomplished during this time? Because this might be, the last big break you get for a while here.
Yeah, you got to have that balance of trying to improve. There's a lot of things that we have to improve on and continue to work on, and really, looking at these last 8 games and watching it and seeing where we can improve on, and we have some things in mind. So we'll spend some time improving on that balance of staying game ready and game sharp and trying to improve on both ends of the floor. But it's a lot of stuff out there that we have to get better at. So we'll continue to do that, and we'll still continue to practice at a level 5, stay at a level 5, and try to figure out that balance of staying game sharp and not overdoing it.
All right, Coach. Congrats again on the win. Big one for you and your program. You deserve it. Enjoy it. Good luck this week as you get ready for this next game against St. Joseph's. A week from tomorrow, and we'll chat with you again next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, you as well. Adrian Autry joining us here on the show, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual. And with that, that's our drive into the second hour, brought to you by Burdick BMW of Cicero. We'll take a time out here. We'll open up the phone lines, 315-437-7644. Matt Park coming your way at 1:30. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Good job, Steve. Keep up the good work. Good product. Do you have a friend that just sends you weird? You don't. You don't. I know you don't. There's this
what? Finish the
weird reels like of people getting punched in the face and stuff like that, hit by cars. I'm more of a Willie Whacker than a Billy Blocker. Thank you. You can clip that also. Make a promo out of it. Do you guys have that one friend that just sends you reels of things that you don't want to see? I can't turn away, though. Like, sometimes, like, a guy will just be sitting at a bar and someone will walk up and punch him in the face. It's not so egregious what the guy sends me that it's like I gotta block him or anything, but it's just sometimes it's like, what the hell are you watching that for? But like last night, I found myself laughing. There was this kid, he's probably in his 20s, that was drunk, and he walks up to a pool table, he picks up a ball and throws it at a guy who's playing pool, misses, and the guy just turns the sticker on and breaks it over his head, and that guy deserved it. Was Faces of Death real? You didn't watch that, did you?
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
It was a movie when we were teenagers that was supposedly just people being murdered. How do you not know about Faces of Death and you're our age? You
never heard of it.
Just so,
What is it?
so good. It's a movie about that was supposedly people being killed. It's not purely real.
Yeah.
Most of the graphic and shocking scenes are staged.
1978. I was 2 years old.
It was way. Was it after? It's not all real. It's a mix and it's a mashup.
Never heard of it.
There goes the no-hitter. Sorry, I was looking up whether Faces of Death was real or not. And part of it was, and part of it wasn't. And the fact that you had never heard of it is crazy to me.
I just looked it up, said 1978. I was 2.
It felt like it came out in like 1987, 88. Like, I feel like I was in high school.
It says release date, November 10th, 1978.
It was like just supposedly like a snuff film.
There is a sequel, Faces of Death 2.
What year did that come out?
Not familiar with that one either. I don't know. Let me find out. 1981.
Okay.
So I was 5.
But so I just looked it up. It was partially real and partially fake. So it was like a documentary on death caught on video, and it was nightmare-inducing.
I can see why it would be. All right, well, let's make the impossible segue to go back to the phone lines now. Let's talk to Mike in Rochester. He's up next on the show. Mike, how are you today?
I'm great, guys. I appreciate all you do. It's really a lot of fun paying attention to the show.
Thank you.
I wanted to make a comparison between Nate Kings and Sophie Burrows, which is Sophie couldn't look at a three-pointer last year without making it.
Yeah.
Nate Kings made 45% of his threes last year, right? So you watch them in their roles that they've taken on this year. They're both complete basketball players. We all saw Kings lock down that point guard. That kid is good. He did a great job on that kid last night. In the first half, he was getting the ball and he was going to the hoop as he should. Second half, it wasn't there. It didn't matter. He's a complete ball player. Now, does that affect your three-point shooting? And I think it does, because he's applying himself. And I never saw him play at Oregon State, so it might be unfair. But I think he's had to apply himself to so many more roles. And I'm saying as the season wears on and he gets used to it, he's going to be making threes. When you watch the women's team, Sophie's the same damn thing. She's out there playing her butt off. She's deflecting passes and rebounding and making plays and great passes. She's not getting the looks she was getting, but I think she's doing everything else. She's a complete ball player, and I think with her too, once she gets comfortable in this role as a leader, and she is, she's going to start dropping threes, and I think both teams get better at that time.
Yeah, Mike, I think it's a great comparison. I'll say this with Nate Kings: not only is he forced to play harder defense, and you're right, maybe it's just different for him because he's a two-way player. Also on the scouting reports, they look at him as the shooter, right? I mean, he was brought in to be the three-point shooter. So Jerry McNamara always used to talk about KYP, know your personnel. You go into the game, right? Tennessee, Houston, Iowa State, they all know shooter, right? Sophie Burrows last year made a lot of threes. Shooter, know your personnel. So as you said, Mike, the looks aren't necessarily there. They got to find other ways to impact the game, and to their credit, both the players have done that.
Agree. And I also want to make one quick comment on Fran Brown's press conference. Fran, when he was asked what does he do when a kid's having trouble making a decision, the authenticity just blew through the screen when he said, hey, I'm going to tell you what's best for me.
Yeah.
You have to do what's best for you. And the way he handled that and the way he spoke about that, I almost forgot we were 3-9 last year. This is the guy I want running our football program. He is special, and I really believe that he's going to win. I just think that kind of guy is who you want in charge. When you look at the Lane Kiffins and those guys out there, who wants that guy? I just think this is the right situation for Syracuse.
Yeah, well said, Mike. Appreciate you calling in. Call anytime. Appreciate you checking in. I think that's partly why he's such a great recruiter, Paulie, is that he's real and genuine and authentic, and that's a great answer to tell
all
a kid.
Things that can be said about you too, Steve.
Are we making up? Little fist bump?
No, I'm lying right now. I'm not being authentic or true. You're not a likable human.
That's today's business. Brought to you by Superior Plus Propane. Want to take a time out? We're actually going to get to Matt Park on time today.
Sure, Steve. But I just wanted to address something. Someone said that because I was talking about Faces of Death, no wonder I'm single. I wasn't watching it now, but in high school, you snuck that video and watched it without your parents knowing. It was a real part of childhood back then.
That was?
Yeah.
So I missed that. Did I miss out?
You definitely did.
Because I didn't see Faces of Death?
Yeah. I
don't feel like I missed out.
I'm not proud of myself. But yeah, that was part of life back then.
I don't feel like I missed out.
Did you have a Cabbage Patch doll?
Why does that? What does that?
Because that was part of life of.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. As a matter of fact,
we couldn't afford it.
I knew that was somehow going to be a negative. If I said yes.
My family couldn't afford those. We had sauerkraut babies.
You know the guy who made Cabbage Patch dolls big. The guy, basically the PR guy behind him. He's a Syracuse grad.
Yeah, my family we had potatoes. We just put toothpicks in them and called them our babies.
Let's get to Matt Park on the other side.
We were lucky just to have real cabbage.
Are you done? Matt Park joins us next on ESPN Radio. LA Orange, I will tell you one of the worst things that I saw being in the news business. This was many, many years ago. Back when we used to use satellites for everything. Now everything's Zoom calls and everything's on computers and whatnot. But there was a bad accident in Camillus. And the crew on the scene was sending back footage to the station, and they had to use a satellite truck to send it back. And the young woman who was the satellite operator was calling in the satellite, and it was Camillus. She called it in. She gets a clear picture. She recognized the motorcycle. It was her husband's motorcycle.
Oh, Jesus.
And her husband had died, and that's how she found out. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was I just talk about being like gutted for a person, like heartbroken. Like she was sobbing, and like it was awful. It was just truly, truly awful.
See, because I don't think my parents were bad or I had a dysfunctional childhood. I just think we all snuck to see when our parents told us not to do things. We went and did it. Like, don't watch that. Okay. I did the same thing with Phantasm. My parents told me not to watch Phantasm when I was 7, and I watched it. Yeah, Steve, way to bring the room down.
He asked the question. I was offering. I mean, there's some real things you see in the news business. There's no doubt about it. I think Rick Gary was, working the morning his daughter passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Have we ever at Channel 9 had one?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we would use network coverage for something like that.
Yeah, Orange Ohana, it was popular in high school to watch that video. Late 80s. Thank you. Like, I think what we discuss on this, like we do, like taking our parents' cars for a joyride, that's all normal stuff. It's just, it's not like I was robbing banks. Like, Steve acts like I was one step away from a felony. Like, watching a movie my parents told me not to watch.
No, but didn't you steal? You stole a road sign.
I stole a golf flag.
Yeah.
And stealing road signs was like a thing back then.
I know.
You know what I used to get mad at because I liked nice cars when I was a kid. People back then used to steal the hood ornaments off cars.
I remember that, yeah.
You were probably a klepto and did it. But that's the one thing we find out. Steve's got a drawer of Mercedes and Jaguar hood ornaments. Like, I didn't damage people's personal property. If it was the government's property, I didn't care.
Government owns the flag at the golf course?
No, that wasn't. But that was a what's it called? A scavenger hunt. So I had to do it.
Had to do it. No
had
choice.
To do it.
Had to do it.
Had to do it. You don't want to be the kid who doesn't partake in the scavenger hunt. Yeah, people, Kevin from Liverpool, stealing the big blinking construction lights. You bought a fire hydrant? How do you buy a fire hydrant? Welcome back to Orange Nation. Artist of the Day, STP and Scott Weiland. Sex type thing, Steve. You know what that is?
Yeah, I know what this is about.
Okay.
This all started because of Brick House, right? That was the
you
one.
didn't know that Brick House was about a girl with
I just said I never really listened.
A sturdy body.
Never really listened to the lyrics. So until you put me on the spot.
She's a brick house. What did you think that was about?
I never really thought about it.
Like she was dumb as rocks. Like she's a brick house. She's really stupid. That seems like a bad song.
Let's bring on the voice of the Orange, Matt Park, to talk about a big win. And Matt, you had a great seat for these last 4 games. What was different about last night? I guess when you look at the Houston game, you look at the Tennessee game, they were very similar games. Syracuse wins one, loses one. Is it just a case of, that's basketball and, one game the ball goes in, you get the call and you get the free throw, other game you don't get the free throw? Or did you see something tangibly different, I guess, down the stretch of that game last night that allowed them to win?
I would say more of the first category there. I don't think it was tremendously different. There is a benefit, of course, from playing on your home floor and familiar surroundings and being in position there to just kind of visualize it and see it through in a way that maybe you don't playing in a casino arena 2,000 miles away from home. We all know the Houston game could have gone either way. They could have won it just as easily. I do think, I heard you guys mention at the start of the show, Tennessee was distinct from Houston, and that Tennessee participated in it a little bit last night with the turnovers and the missed free throws and that kind of thing. That counts. Syracuse played great and deserved to win and everything, but they, if you're wondering in a game of inches, one or 2 points here, how did you make the difference? That's one of the ways that the games were different.
I've heard the term season-saving win, and I feel like most of the time if I heard that in the month of December, I would kind of roll my eyes. I don't roll my eyes at it last night because in a lot of ways it did feel like a season-saving win, right? We all know the non-conference schedule is what it is. We know what's to come here where the schedule eases up a little bit going into the month of January. I mean, I guess, can you speak, Matt, to, in your mind, how big was that win last night? Are we overstating it by saying that was season-saving to some degree?
I'm not going to say it's overstating because I think it's all in the eye of the beholder. My feeling is there's going to be opportunities for quality wins in the ACC, and Syracuse is in decent shape to get them. Doesn't mean they're going to knock them all out. I just don't think they're going to be tremendously outclassed by anybody they face, save for Duke, who's probably at a different level than everybody. And Carolina got a good win last night at Kentucky, so we'll see what Carolina and Louisville are like. That's really the very top of the conference is those three teams. But you do have to, feel like each time you take the floor, you've got a chance. I think a loss last night would have taken some steam out. There's no question, because you've gone 0-4 in that stretch, and albeit without Donnie Freeman, this next period of games, yes, the team's got to kind of maintain and stay strong and make this more of a repeatable type level of energy and effort and all of that. But on paper, there's not a lot to gain from these next 5 games in terms of your net ranking and all of that. These are expected to be blowouts, and that's the framework with which we're going to watch them. I just personally am not one of these season is over people. I understand that it's my job to be at every game, so I have a different kind of point of view. They could have lost last night, and I'm going to be there the next game, ready to roll. So the idea that you're tuning out, I think a lot of people love to rush to social media and tell you how they're over it and all that. They're not. Everybody's paying attention, and everybody wants to see the program do well. Last night was a step in that direction, and if anything, it's certainly a breath of fresh air for the coaching staff and the community, and an indication that they can do something this year. They can hang with the top teams they're going to face.
Matt, are you worried at all about the offense? The defense has been great this year, but the people still it looks bogged down. It's not what we want to see. Are you worried about the offense?
Not worried. I would like to see a little bit more. It's hard to say you want to see more out of Nathan George because he does a lot of things right, but I thought he would maybe be more of a player that put more pressure on the defense himself. Ill-advised shot at the end of the game last night, particularly in light of the fact that he hasn't been making shots. He was 1 of 7 from the field in that game, and it just wasn't the right time or place or person to be involved there. Yes, he can be a facilitator alone if everybody else has their spacing and the shots are going down. Mike from Rochester is a friend of mine, and I appreciate his comment about the projected improvement of Nate Kings. That could very well happen because there aren't a ton of catch and shoot guys right now on this team. I mean, it's Kings, maybe it's Tyler Betsy. When you talk about penetration, let's say by George on a high pick and roll, spit it out for a guy that's going to shoot it in the way that we've seen Chris Bell shoot it the past couple of years. That looks pretty. Everybody gets that, right? Somebody was in a position on the floor and did what they were supposed to do, and the ball went in the basket. Right now, this team plays in a way that it's going to look gritty and uneven, and there may be a lot of turnovers and deflections and bodies on the floor. And last night, I just thought was indicative of the way they've got to play right now. And I say we embrace it. It was a lot of fun. It was, to see a game like that in the Dome of that magnitude and something at stake and have them come through the way that they were expected to, I think it's been a welcome sight.
Tyler Betsy only played 13 minutes last night. Sadiq got 27 minutes. Is that more defensive than offensive? The fact that Sadiq gets after you defensively, was strong on the glass last night, and that lineup kind of had it working. I mean, do you think we'll see more of Tyler Betsy as the season continues, or do you think that that's going to be about right for him?
Yes and yes. I think last night it called for Sadiq to be in there and mix it up with great athletes on the other team. And, William Kyle was just awesome. And White, is a younger guy and a little smaller guy, but he gets after it defensively, is a decent rebounder, is bouncy, is indicative of the improvement in the roster. So it made sense for him to be out there despite some early foul trouble. And there may be a game where it does call for more Tyler Betsy, and you do need the 3-point shooting. And I don't think Tyler's any slouch when it comes to the other end of the floor, just because he does have that size and presents bigger in a way more so, let's say, than Cayenne and some other guys. So I think for Betsy, it's a great chance there to, there will be a time for him. I think Red was asked something to the effect after the game about, do you ask, I think Donna Datota asked it, something about, do you talk to the players about tempering their effort and sort of leaving some in the tank or managing their energy? No, that he wants to do the exact opposite of that. He wants everybody to go pedal to the metal all the time until they wear out and then get somebody else in. And when you state that, then if you're going to back that up at all, you have to think that people are eligible to play more on a regular basis, So if Betsy maybe gets 13 minutes one day, maybe he gets 23 the next.
Matt, you're talking about Betsy, it could float, but 8 guys last night. Do you see that being the rotation when you get back into the ACC after this stretch? Is it a point? I know Donnie will be there, but do you think it's going to be tighter and we're not going to see the Fennells and the others, deeper down the bench when we get into the ACC?
Yeah, that would be my expectation. Again, maybe those guys find a role here or there. I just think it's a total myth. The idea that you could get away with playing 10-plus players significant time, I just don't see it. Now, again, 2 minutes here or there. Bryce Zephyr was unavailable last night. Could he have played 2 minutes? Yeah, but what would compel you to put him in there? The only reason I can think of is I do understand if you are going to be someone who goes deep and, is going to play 9, 10, 11 over the course of the game, Dean Smith had the principle of get everybody's feet wet in the first half so they aren't going in cold like Luke Fennell here did in a recent game where he goes in only in the final 2 minutes and it mattered. I personally am I'm not a basketball coach, but if I were, I would be the type that would lean on a real core of probably 8. And, can you splash a couple minutes here or there? Yes, but I don't know what's gained from that.
All right, man, let's talk a little football before we let you go. The big news yesterday, Elijah Robinson, I guess we could say demoted, right, from defensive coordinator to co-defensive coordinator. They're going to bring in somebody else to run the defense, call the plays. What do you make of that move, and do you have any insight in terms of the kind of guy that they are looking for to run the defense?
The second part, not really. I mean, the first part, I think you had to do it. You have to. First of all, I think Fran is the type who's going to make changes almost no matter what. Now, if you go 12-0, those changes are made for you because the assistants move on to become head coaches or have other opportunities and different things like that arise. Any other combination, he's going to be looking to improve his surroundings all the time. So there's no question he was going to make coaching changes here at the end of the year. The idea of, Elijah Robinson and the connotation that, hey, these guys have been friends since they were, in grade school, I'm sure is tough on both of them. But you've got to make a show of saying, hey, that what we saw defensively was not acceptable and there need to be changes. I don't know that Fran said it publicly, but he was involved to a larger degree in defensive play calling and what the direction of what they were doing in the second half of the season too. So they were kind of tinkering over the course of the year with who did what and who signed off on the play calls and that type of thing. So I think Elijah's been around the block. He understands what's going on. He's going to be here and have a prominent role. He's a defensive line coach, and they can bring in somebody over the top of him. And really curious to see who that would be. Is that going to be somebody from Fran's background? Probably. And at what dollar figure and that kind of thing. But he obviously has attracted plenty of coaching talent here so far, even with the idea of Don Brown being around as an extra set of eyes over the course of this season. And the idea with Josh Gaddis kind of waiting in the wings after the Miles White departure. So I really do believe in Fran in terms of accumulating talent and people around him, and it'll apply to the coaching staff as well.
I know, Matt, that you try to catch the show here and there when you can. I don't know if you heard my partner's thoughts on the signing of the rapper earlier in the week, Tusi. He was not pleased with the timing of said announcement from the Grammy award-winning artist or whatever he is. What do you make of that whole situation? And I guess what's your take on him coming to Syracuse?
What do I make of the whole Pauly situation? Do you really?
You only got 15 minutes. We'll hit that another day.
Yeah, that would be a great 2:00 online only kind of show if you guys ever want to do that.
30 for 30, Pauly.
Look, it's like a few other things that happen around here. None of the three of us are the target audience.
Right.
And it takes a while before you realize that and are cool with it. We're not the target audience. I think it's totally fine. Okay. I think, again, Fran is a little different. He has different kind of thoughts and connections. I would like to hear the story. Why Syracuse as opposed to anywhere else for this guy? I'd never heard the guy's name at all until it came up Saturday after the game. But I would say this. If he comes in and first of all, I have no problem with it relative to the number of people you bring in. If you're bringing in 30 people in a year and this is one of them, fantastic. You would thank your lucky stars if you got 18 contributors out of 30 people that you bring in a year, right? You with me on that? Let's say for round numbers, let's say 20 out of 30. If 2 of every 3 guys actually became a starter or key backup, that's pretty good. So at worst, now you're talking about let's get 18 or 20 out of 29. Let's just assume this guy can't play dead and would never see the field. Well, now in that category, does he have other things to contribute? Absolutely he does. Whether that's, now again, you have to manage them to make sure they're all positive contributions, but the culture of your locker room, the type of fun you have, who's to say he doesn't put on a halftime show or perform at the block party on campus or these other things. Again, I just think it's about let's get as much talent and value in the building as possible and then work to see how you manage that and put people in the right position. I'm under no delusion that this guy's going to walk in and be Randy Moss. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe we're completely off, and then it's a tremendous story. But I think, there's 100+ people on the football roster, 116, right? If you could find a reason for him to be around in a way they contribute, more power to you.
For the record, I'd like to defend myself for those that are just tuning in, and I just didn't like the timing.
I said that to him in the question.
Okay, what's timing? What would you rather they have done? I mean, this is the timing that it happens.
wait till the signing day. Just
Why? Because
don't
it's
make it a
flippant
separate news. No, you
you think it's because it's silly after they lost a lot of games? What's that?
No, you just got smoked by BC and Notre Dame.
So what?
When you're
They
making
signed a bunch
coaching
of people.
changes.
You think all these guys? You think all these people here are going to? We on signing day we make everybody out to be like they're just a step away from the Hall of Fame. I haven't even looked at the names.
Nobody else got an announcement.
A bunch of them aren't going to be on the field. Yeah, the other guys don't have a huge following and platinum records and whatever. What do you care? I don't really understand why it's a negative thing.
It wasn't negative. I said it was a great thing. Also, I just didn't like the timing. It just act like.
Well, then he maybe goes somewhere else. Then, if that's what you want it to be. I mean, I don't understand what timing really had to do with it in that situation, and when would have been the right time. I think you were particularly grumpy this week, but were you also anti-court storming? Did you come out on that today?
I wasn't anti-court storming because if you were a college kid, because you haven't had anything to cheer about for the past, none of these guys have seen a tournament game. Right. So yeah, I don't have a problem. But if you were over 25 and you were part of that, I probably would have tripped you.
Well, if you're over 25, you shouldn't be out on the court anyway. It's for the students.
Yeah.
So
no, I didn't have a problem with it just because it's been a while.
It has been a while. Matt, good stuff as always. Get some rest. No game now for a week, so hopefully we can all catch our collective breath. Yes.
Red Autry show tomorrow.
That's right.
Wildcat.
That's right. Still have that. Yes.
That's right.
All right, Matt. Be
And
well.
JJ Starling also should not be in crunch time. Thank you.
Oh, boy.
I might as well just be the complete grump.
Matt, thanks for coming on. Be well.
Yeah, good luck with that, guys.
All right, we're going to hit our final timeout. We'll wrap things up next on ESPN Radio.
Yeah, we have a show on Friday, just with holiday party tomorrow. I get roasted by everybody. I don't have any issue with it. That's why I always get like, you guys think I have thin skin. I don't. Yeah, that would be the feel-good story if I came out as the holder. I could kick for the Giants.
Don't move the ball right before he's about to kick.
I've watched that video now after you said that he doesn't move.
Yeah,
it was a perfect snap.
Yeah. Such an excuse.
I don't think so. I think Nate George will get better. He did take a horrible shot last night. I texted Steve.
Awful. Oh, yeah.
It was wide open, but it was just so early.
You're right. You got to have better sense than that. Because by shooting that early, now they couldn't hold for the last shot. Now there was a differential between the shot clock and game. And it was a bad shot.
I saw JJ's reaction when he made the pass to Kyle, and he was like, "I shouldn't have done that." And I saw Red say, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Yeah, that was awful. That's just not a smart play. You talk about like basketball IQ. That's just not a smart play.
Could you treat me fairly if I was one of your students? That's a good question.
Yes.
My health has been great this past month. I'm on an anti-inflammatory for my hip flexor type thing, but I'm good. They had JJ on the ball a lot last night.
No, Philly, I'm more and more with you on the Nathan George thing. I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm concerned with the way he's played against the better competition. Like last night, he makes bad turnovers at bad times. His shots, I mean, obviously the shot selection at the end of the game, like that almost cost him the game.
Yeah.
That shot. And again, just the fact that they couldn't hold for one, and you can't do that.
I'm not worried yet. It's actually my Bursa sack, but it feels great. Today was my last day of my steroid run, so I'll see if it.
Always consult your financial and tax professional. T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability.
Yes, I'm on PEDs for intercourse. LA Orange. I have the list of artists for Friday. I even did it right.
Good.
I prepped.
Good. Yeah, I missed it too. What happened? What was the turnover to start?
I don't know. I blinked.
Yeah, right.
I didn't see it. Did you see what happened with the turnover at halftime?
Right at the beginning of the second half. What was it? Yeah.
I blinked and didn't see it.
I wasn't there. No, I was back at Channel 9.
Oh, I got to say,
Oh.
Funny because he doesn't curse normally.
yeah.
Anyway, so
No, I think he was just so into the game.
yeah.
That's funny.
Wasn't that Kyan had an outlet pass that he overshot?
Oh, maybe it was Cayenne.
Yeah.
The long
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
No drive time, Steve.
Okay.
Watch live on QSportsTalk.com.
Interstate Love Song wraps it up. This is a good song. This song's about love between states. Like a highway, but a love song.
Okay.
So if you we're here in New York and you love somebody.
I was telling my son about my 5-year-old about the standing in 4 states at once, and he was the other day,
Dumbfounded?
and he was mesmerized by it.
You got to do that.
And he
now,
asked
right?
me what it was like, and I was like, well, I had my left leg in Arizona, and my leg was hot, but my right leg, and then he was like, really? And I was like, no.
Why are you lying to your kid like that?
I was
terrible
just joking with him.
That's not funny.
So then the very next day he's like, tell me again your left leg, and
That is the coolest story you have, and I've got to do that. Did you get on all fours?
I don't remember. I was like
was
10.
your knee in one, and like you're playing? What's that game when you spin the wheel? And
Twister.
Twister. Yeah, you're playing Twister, but with states.
Right foot in Nevada. No, I didn't do that.
All right, Friday. Tomorrow is our holiday party. We get a day off. Your choices are the Gin Blossoms, Culture Club, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Fleetwood Mac, Goo Goo Dolls, Fleetwood Mac, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Culture Club, Gin Blossoms. Go.
Man, there's some good artists here.
There are some good ones.
This is a good list. I feel like, didn't we do the Goo Goo Dolls recently?
Yes, I did. We did.
We found out that they were from Buffalo officially.
We knew they were from Buffalo.
Yeah, we knew, but they were going to be my pick, but I feel like we just did them.
I get them confused with Matchbox 20. That was the conversation we had about it, whether or not they're from Buffalo.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I'll
man.
go Fleetwood Mac.
I was deciding between Fleetwood Mac and Gin Blossoms.
Yeah,
me too.
Jealousy. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat. I'm going to just end it right now. Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. I'll give one vote to Gin Blossoms just so they don't feel left out. But
Look at you doing good things. No Tim Leonard today.
No drive
time, yes.
No, that's what's called drive time.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
drive time. New York Times says this will be the best show Tim Leonard has done today. 4:45 pre, though, you will still get your Tim Leonard fix.
Yeah, if you tune in at 5 p.m. on the radio on the same station, you'll just hear women's basketball. We'll have Kyra Wood again on the broadcast, too.
Oh,
She's
nice.
been helping me out with some of the recent home games. So get that to look forward to at 5 p.m. Really big game for the Orange women's team against Auburn.
Big East ACC Challenge.
Yeah.
ACC, SEC.
That's whatever.
Yeah. ACC.
I just went back to 1990.
Yeah.
My
ACC
God.
6-3 so far. some big wins last night. Some big wins. All right, we're out of time. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Big East ACC.
I know, where did that come from?
That lasted like a year, 2 years.
All right, we got to go. For Paulie, for Tim, I'm Steve. Enjoy the rest of the night. Enjoy tomorrow. We'll talk to you again on Friday.